Yeah, isn't that a good title for this? Eat, Pray, Kill? All right, everybody, welcome back to the Sooner or Later podcast. I'm your host, Joey. And this week, for episode 107, we're going to be reviewing the 2022 direct-to-streaming Predator prequel, Prey. Prey is directed by Dan Trachtenberg, screenplay by Patrick Asen, story by Patrick Asen and Dan Trachtenberg, based on characters by Jim Thomas and John Thomas, produced by John Davis, Jane Myers, and Marty P. Ewing. Cinematography by Jeff Cutter, edited by Angela M. Catanzaro. I should have looked at these names. Claudia Castillo. Music by Sarah Schachner. Production companies were 20th Century Studios, Davis Entertainment, Lawrence Gordon Productions. Distributed by Hulu in the United States, Star Plus in Latin America, and Disney Plus internationally. With a release date of July 21st, 2022 at San Diego Comic-Con and August 5th, 2022 in the United States. And a runtime of 100 minutes. This movie made no money at the box office because it didn't come out there. Though, it's got a 93% on Rotten Tomatoes with a tomato meter of 170 reviews and an 82% audience score with 1,000 plus ratings. And the critics' consensus is the rare action thriller that spikes adrenaline without skimping on character development. Prey is a Predator sequel done right. So apparently they had no idea what the fuck they were talking about because it's not a sequel, it's a prequel.
Someone did a fucking typo there.
Yeah, big typo. All right, boys. The spoiler free started. This movie is rad as hell. Holy shit!
Wait, real
this
quick.
Cool.
I thought
Do I
they
need
were
to
supposed to have
pause
a Comanche dub.
They do
They
have
do.
a Comanche dub. You didn't see it?
Wait, no, mine didn't. I pulled out my languages. It only said English.
No,
and
It's a
that's
different. It's a different choice of a movie. It's a totally different movie.
I was gonna watch it too, but I didn't. God damn it!
I saw it at the very end.
So when I saw in the very beginning, I went up and then it popped up on my TV and I pulled down and it was like Prey Comanche, Prey.
Yeah.
English.
Damn it!
Which would
No,
have
I
been
gotta watch
dope.
it again, dude.
Because
Yeah.
them speaking Comanche was really cool, like the couple of times that they just did it, like naturally in the movie.
Mhm.
But I think the whole movie in Comanche would have been really cool. And I wonder if they would have subtitled the French parts. Spoilers, there's white people in this movie. I wonder if they would have dubbed those parts in the Comanche dub or not. Or
No, I think they would have left it
or
French and be
subtitled.
like, if you don't know, you don't know.
Yeah.
What they did to us in the English dub. Yeah.
They do
Where
that
they're
in a
like-
lot of movies nowadays, and I don't know what that's about.
I mean, what the characters are talking about must not have any story relevance, so they're like, you don't need to know. They
We
did
get
it
the
in
gist
Iron
of what
Man.
they're doing. Like, we
So,
know what they're doing.
I brought that up when I was watching it this morning. The other characters who aren't speaking languages that you're supposed to understand do a lot of really good face acting to tell you what's happening.
Yeah.
Like, they don't leave anything up to interpretation. They're very obviously scared or excited or willing to kill this dog. A lot is happening.
Yeah, their body language is crazy, dude. It's like 10 out of 10. They're cranking it up.
Yeah, there's a lot of physical acting.
Yeah. But this movie absolutely deserves. I think 100% of people should like it. I'm interested to see what people say is bad about it because
So this is exclusively on Hulu. Like
Yes,
there wasn't
there's-
any limited.
there's
In
no
America, yeah.
No, it's everywhere. Well, yeah, but it's the Hulu Plus or it's the Hulu equivalent in other countries though, because not every country has Hulu. Some
No.
are called different things.
'Cause I think I would have loved to see this in like the big screen, man. Like
So-
I think
Go ahead.
maybe the effects would have suffered a little bit just because they're probably on a tight budget.
Yeah, like the one nitpick is the animals aren't great. Like maybe that's like on a big screen would have made it worse. Like to see like it would have stood out more. But they
Yeah.
do a
I
good job
mean-
of shooting
But
those
it's a-
scenes dark a lot, so you can't tell as much.
But even, I mean, I don't think talking about the animals is spoilers, but if it is, go ahead, give us a dislike and talk shit to us in the comments about how we spoiled it. The wolf looked fantastic, I think.
yeah,
for a
the wolf
second
is really
there,
good.
I totally forgot that shit was CGI.
I think the deer was the worst one.
No
The
way,
initial-
bro. The bear was fucking
No,
trash.
deer.
No. I know the bear was garbage,
The
though.
bear. I thought the bear was
The
fine.
bear and
compared to the
lion's
deer.
face are shit.
They're so bad, and they're
They
shiny
look like
unnecessarily.
Annihilation.
Yeah, yeah.
Where it's like it's deformed, but like this is not supposed to be deformed.
But even the lion would have looked even worse. There's definitely a reason they made that shit at night because they were like,
It needs
this,
to be
Yeah,
100%.
that's true.
they were like, this lion asset we got is awful, so it's got to be at night.
The animals' bodies were sometimes moving not naturally.
Yeah.
Like,
Go ahead.
but outside of that, I mean,
This is
like-
the perfect action movie.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Then again, Netflix had $200 million, and look what they did with The Gray Man. So
Right. And
I
this
think
is
shout outs to
this is
Hulu
Hulu
for
money. Like,
throwing
But-
out this banger.
I wonder too why if it didn't go to theaters because it's runtime. Like this is a short movie.
I think it didn't go to theaters because of the production companies that were doing it. So it's the 20th Century Studios, and I have a feeling, have they put out anything that was wide release in theaters since they got bought?
I think so, but I don't know offhand. But
I'm looking it
I've,
up
remember.
right now.
I've
But,
like seen the logos.
I mean, they've done. Oh, is this movies? What the fuck? Oh, the film series. I don't know. Oh, why'd they do it this way?
Well, there's a lot going on that.
Their
page.
wikis fucked.
Yeah,
Bunch of
it's pretty bad.
We all like reacted the same way. I think when we looked at it.
It's really shitty.
Yeah.
But like
Jesus.
maybe Disney is saying like, okay, 20th Century Studios is our Hulu brand. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like this is all Hulu shit
Mm.
from here on out. Which
The
like go ahead.
Kingsman, did that come out afterwards? Right? Yeah, the Kingsman.
Yeah, but that was one that was Fox in 2019 or something like
Yeah.
that. And it only released theatrically because it was going to before the pandemic.
That's true too. Yeah.
But that's the only thing that I could think of was they were like, no, this is a Hulu brand. Like that's just what it's gonna be, you know?
They're doing another sequel to that movie though in 2023.
But yeah, they have to. They set up the evil Avengers at the very end. We have 4:30 to keep talking about
Dude,
non-spoilers though.
I need more of Amber Midthunder, which is Naru. I need
Bro.
more of her and stuff, dude.
And
Because like,
I want her looking crazy the whole time. I want her eyes to be big as hell the whole time she's looking at everything.
she's playing like a schizophrenic person in the next movie or something, dude.
'Cause I think she's like what she was like in Legion or something. Like she was in something else.
Yeah, she was in Legion and the CW series Roswell, New Mexico, as
Oh, I've
well
never
as
seen
well
that.
as appearances on Longmire and Banshee. I don't know what those are. I think it's so fucking dope the representation that Native American people are getting. Because they look so badass doing anything. I'm like, this is fucking cool, man. Like,
I
so
love
cool.
there was something special about how slender they were and how like much they were still like fucking holding their own in
Badasses.
situations. Yeah.
dude, we'll talk about it in spoilers. Actually, I don't want to spoil too much of anything else that's
Mhm.
happening in the movie. But I like that too, like because normally they would be massive, like the Native
Mhm.
American dude from the first Predator, where he's
Yeah.
just a hulking fucking monster of a man. But like
Mhm.
them being slender makes sense because they have to forage for most of their food and then they hunt
Yeah.
only as much as they can.
And they move a lot.
Yeah.
Like they're constantly moving. They're not really stationary.
Right.
Dude, I mean, her moves, man, were insane, dude. She was Call of Duty sliding all over the place.
I'm interested to see how much of it was her own acting though, and how much of it was the stunt double. Because
I
there's
think
a-
it's probably all stunt double.
No, the stunt
No.
devil was fucking moving.
I think the stunt double, you know, when the stunt double's doing it in certain scenes, but in other scenes, like where she is doing the sprint crouch slide, I think those were her. You know what I mean?
Oh shit, you think?
Because you had a full face view. There were other
Man,
scenes.
they threw a few dots on her face and we're like, all right.
Nowadays, man, they can deep fake a lot of stuff, man.
Yeah, that's true. I just want to believe that she's an action hero like that though, because she is badass in this movie. I think the acting from everybody who isn't her and her brother though, dog shit.
They
that
have
was
shit to do.
right, but you can still
I
not have
mean-
shit to do and be a good actor. You
Yeah,
know, you
I
can
mean,
still
I get
do a
what you're
lot with the
saying.
little.
Yeah.
But like, oh boy, who had the Rufio hair? That was his biggest thing. Was
Yeah.
he's an asshole and he's got Rufio hair, and that's
They're
it.
like, all right, just play typical assholes. You know, you're bullying some kid. Go.
Yeah, which I think is whack.
So she's also supposed to be in Avatar: The Last Airbender, the TV series, the live action Netflix.
Put her in everything. I'm gonna go out there and say it. If we ever direct a movie, we gotta have her in some role.
She'll be too big by
Oh,
then.
She
You
will
gotta hurry.
be.
You gotta do it
She's
now.
just
But she
American.
might. She might. Who knows?
Yeah.
She might be huge though and pull a Jennifer Lawrence where she just makes every movie that comes her way.
Regardless,
Which I'll take it because we're gonna write a good movie anyway. So she's gonna
Yeah,
act
man,
the fuck
she's-
out of it.
dude, in
She's gonna do
2021,
one
she's
for
in like
her.
4 movies.
Good. She deserves it. She fantastic.
This
her-
is the only good one.
well, I'm
Yeah.
sure. Hey, you got to start somewhere, man. But like her
Yeah.
brother was fantastic too. I think
I really liked him as well.
he was so good, and I was like,
Their
Their
silent
relationship's
type.
really good.
"Is that his name?" He's good. I want more.
I mean, they call him like War Chief, but I don't know what his actual name is. But I think that's just because
I don't think
He's
he
a
even has
badass.
a name on the cast and crew in the Rotten Tomatoes.
No, he does.
calls him something.
Dakota Beavers is his name.
Yeah,
and his name is-
I mean, that's his-
T-A-A-B-E.
His name is Tabi.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Taabe. Yeah, Tabi. But yeah, they were really good. I'm glad none of the other tribe or like people in their village said anything, because I would have been like, get these fucking people out of here. I don't want no part of these people. I think they did a great job keeping it to the fights that were supposed to happen, and I think the predator design, this like feral predator is what they're calling it, is rad as hell. He's so
Dude, it
fucking
was too cool.
Oh man, his helmet is dope. His weapons that I think we should get into in spoilers were awesome. All of it was really good.
You know what else the guy that plays the Predator plays? I think he plays that devil character in American Horror Stories, or the demon.
I was trying to see who played the Predator.
I don't know.
So he's like a former basketball.
What's his
player?
name?
Yeah, he's massive.
Dane.
It's in the set list. Oh,
Yeah.
the non-spoilers are over. So if you've been watching the non-spoiler review, go ahead and click into the spoiler review to see our in-depth thoughts about Prey. You will get spoilers though. So if you're mad at us for spoiling it, go down to the comments and talk shit about us like you did earlier.
Is it Dan DeLigrio
It
Correct.
is, yeah.
or Dane?
So I'm switching over to spoilers.
I think it's Dane.
I
but
did
yeah.
not need to see him killing all of those animals. I get it that he's a predator. I don't need to see him kill a snake.
Some
and then
people
upgrade
were
it and upgrade it and upgrade
Theorizing that literally the snake was his first kill on Earth,
it. It was.
and like it's a young predator, and he was like learning. He's like, oh, I didn't need to skin this. Like it's not worthy of a skin.
so,
And eventually, he's like building up his chops to seeing who's the true trophy that he can, kill.
I think what it was he was hoping that it was going to have a spine. Because he looked at it and then threw it on the ground. And he was like,
Yeah.
there's no fucking spine in this. I can't rip it
I
out.
can't rip this out all crazy.
Yeah.
Do snakes have skulls?
Yes.
Some of them do, I think.
Really quick, can somebody go check to make sure that the Twitch has any audio at all?
No.
But no, I think snakes do have skulls, but they don't
It
have.
does.
There's no vertebrae other than that. Okay, awesome. But I think that's what that was about. I wouldn't. I'm on the fandom for Predator. It says a Yatja, which is their race or whatever, conducted a hunt during the September of 1719 within Lawton, Oklahoma, the then territory for the Comanche tribe. It came into conflict with Comanche warrior Naru, and the rank is unblooded or young blood, and they said presumably. So that's why he had shitty weapons. So whereas we've seen and we know the Predators had really good weapons because in Alien versus Predator, you see ancient Predators
Like
shooting
during
with
the
laser
Mayans
blast.
times.
Right.
Yeah.
So we know that he could
Oh
have
man, I
had
didn't
the
even think about
weapons.
that.
Bro, I was fucking in the
Unless-
lab, dude. I was
Unless they were like,
theorizing.
unless that's retconned.
So the way I was looking at it, and
Maybe.
it's just probably wrong, was I was like, oh, because like I got that he was like a first time predator, and I was like, oh, or is he only having weapons based on his like
skill
based on
level?
the ability of
Yeah.
the other people as well? Like,
No.
'cause don't give him crazy weapons if he's fighting, people with bows and arrows.
Yeah,
No.
I think maybe he wanted like an honorable fight, so he's like, I'm not gonna take my laser to this shit.
But no
But then
other,
again, like in future Predators, they use that shit against
Yeah.
other.
we've
They
never
got like fucking bombs.
Right. We've never seen a predator have honor. Like they do the bullshit where they're like, "Well, I'm not gonna hurt you if you don't have a weapon." But the minute you have a fucking butter knife, he's like, "Beep, beep, beep, beep," and then they blow your fucking face off. You know what I mean? So like,
I mean, they do have honor in that they recognize, oh, Danny Glover, you killed one of our own. Here's like, good on you, man.
yeah, but they're not gonna be like, oh, they're only bringing a knife, so that means I should also only bring a knife. They're gonna see that you have a knife and then use their giant cannons to blow you off the face of the earth.
But I think it depends on the actual predator, because if you look at Predators, where the guy has the sword and he's like, all right, we're gonna go one-on-one with these swords, even though he could have just shot him in the face.
Yeah,
like,
maybe.
And in that one too, you see, and also the latest Predators and the other one too, you see there's different species of Predators as well.
I think it's a rank. It's like a caste system.
Yeah, because I want to say it's in the the latest like remake. I want to say they had
like a different species. Yeah, you're right, James. It's like they crossbred it with an alien or some shit.
No. That's different. Right? No, that's Alien vs Predator Requiem, where a predator got face hugged, and then he went onto the ship, and then the chest burster came out half and half. But they didn't do that shit on purpose.
What is this new one? And then I thought in the new one he was like also genetically modified or something, because he's huge. He's like the biggest predator we've seen.
Yeah, but I think he's just a different. Like, you know how Yao Ming is 7'7" or whatever, and I'm 5'7". You know, there's just different, like, and they seem, since they're like a warrior culture, it seems like the bigger you are, the better you are in society.
Yeah.
So maybe he's just massive.
They say it in the movie though. It's like one of those. I don't know which one it is, but they do say there's different. Like they are different. Like it's like it's probably they're still like predators, but they're like
but that's only our human take on it. You know?
Yeah.
Like, we would have to read the comics to know exactly probably how the system works out. But, like, I would assume...
I need to find what movie that is, though. Because, like, they explain that whole...
I think it's The Predator.
Yeah, it's The Predator. That's the most recent one.
Right here it says, Brackett discovers that the Predator contains human DNA as part of its genetic makeup. And the primary task is to discover how the Predator awakens.
Oh. That's interesting.
So but they do expand on the lore of it and explain like why these predators are different, and like the predators even fight amongst themselves because there's like almost two different tribes like of predators.
Yeah,
like there's a smaller and bigger ones, but not because of like ranked. Like they're genetically different.
Look, she mentions that the larger predator generates an exoskeleton that renders him highly resistant to damage, even from weapons of predator technology. Oh. So like they've been cross-splicing themselves with human DNA to try and like beef themselves up.
That's interesting.
They're taking like the best of the humans, splicing it in with each other to further hybridization. So they're just trying to make themselves better, like the ultimate race, essentially.
Right. That's super interesting.
Yeah, like there's just so much lore, but they also have had a shit ton of movies now, and they have a bunch of stuff to go off.
Most of it is in the comics, though. Because they've been producing comics in between movies ever since the first movie came out. So
that comic actually just went up in value. That's how I knew this movie was going to be good.
Yeah, but like a lot of that lore is there, and like none of us have read any of it.
No.
So it's and for those weird movies like the most recent one, other than this one, it's hard to say what's canon and what's not, or like what's actually true, which is what sucks.
Or like what they're like, oh dude, you know, it'd be cool. What if he had a fucking exoskeleton, man?
That makes him so much stronger, dude.
Because like they're all in the same universe, but like it also could be the thing where it's like, the movie universe is totally different than the comic universe. Because like these are all canon, because like even the latest one, they reference like Arnold Schwarzenegger, and they're like, oh yeah, this happened, and they talk about the time in Predator 2 and when it was really hot during the summer. So like they're all canon, and so this is now just like the first one in it. So like, who knows though? They may change the shit next year.
Right. I mean, hopefully they don't get too bogged down with the lore though, because I don't need lore. I need different people just absolutely wrecking these fools and just destroying
I saw a
their
thing
shit.
where they're like, what if they made this into just an anthology series where each movie takes, you know, a different director and their take on like a predator coming to Earth and hunting. Like, what if a predator came to Earth during World War I, dude?
And he just gets blasted with a cannon?
And someone was saying, and that's why they started to use actual gas masks, because like then like World War I they were using like mustard gas. So they were like, oh, we gotta we gotta make actual masks now when we come to Earth, or else we're gonna get fucked.
Yeah, because that was the thing that really threw me off with this one is this predator only has his eyes and the top of his head covered. But like that covering for that mask isn't even bulletproof. It blew through.
No, it was.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, it was.
Because it just knocked
when
it
he
off?
took the initial shot to the front.
Oh yeah,
it bounced
ricocheted.
off or something.
Yeah.
Like,
well, the one guy
ricocheted,
kills himself because he shoots him in the face, and it comes back and shoots him. The French guy.
But like, well, it's so weird. Like their helmet design is so fucking strange in this, and like,
shit was cool as hell though.
And that's why, like, I really wonder. I really wonder if it's like, man. I really want to know why he had the technology he had. Like, I want to know if it's like as simple as like, hey, this is your first mission. We're giving you the fucking B-list shit, and if you can kill them with this, you'll get upgraded. But like, if you can't kill them with this, you don't deserve it because you're not a good enough warrior.
I think that is what it is because when you look. And I'm deep in the wiki at this point. I'm fucking 7 levels
Good.
deep.
We need it. We gotta
like,
get in it.
He did have like that, like, you know how they have the auto destruct thing on their wrist. Like that shit almost looked even more advanced than the nuke ones. Like I know a nuke is super advanced, but like that shit, like little disc that popped out of nowhere and then like exploded. I was like, what the hell is this?
But that's even more, you know, what's it called? Primitive than an explosion. You know what I mean? Ultimately, it is just more knives, or even like you know, it did just look different, but I think it was just the design is so new that you instantly go towards, oh, this is some fucking next level shit.
He had darts and bladed shit. That's all he really had. He didn't have like a laser. Like his laser was a sensor, right? Like, and he was just shooting the darts.
It's almost like a homing beacon is what it was.
Yeah, he had no fucking aim. He does not deserve to be a predator.
But like, I think that's even cool because it does show how primitive this design is. Because when you look at every other predator, their shoulder-mounted cannon, that bitch moves independently of their head.
Yeah,
it ain't stuck to their shit like a GoPro. Like
this is probably where he doesn't tell them shit. They went back and looked at the evidence.
Yeah.
There's a scouting report.
So, an unblooded Yachtja, which is a predator, are denied certain privileges that other higher-ranked predators have. They are limited to a certain amount of weapons, and if the Youngbloods, which is the next step up, are anything to go by, those weapons lack the acid resistance generally found in hunting tools. They also cannot challenge anyone to a deathmatch, only claw challenges. Unblooded Yachtja are often violent, restless, formless, and eager, in stark contrast to the silent, methodical methods of older, more experienced Yachtja. Most unblooded are male and train in groups of about 15 to 20. However, groups of 40 sometimes occur. They train beneath the eye of a leader. So I think it is safe to assume that this is an unblooded, which is the lowest of the low, and that's why he has the straight doo-doo weapons. He has the garbage
and that's
weapons.
He got blazing darts. Like, he has the same weapons they have.
Yeah. Yeah, that shit is wild.
And that's why he was so reckless, dude.
Which I love, though. Well, and two, though, like, his armor in general, like, if
what armor?
He was getting bit by a dog and, like, he had no leg armor. Like you said, what armor? Like, by armor, I mean, none.
He went down there with a loincloth and that cool shield, and that was it.
He had the shield and a fucking, just a skull for some other alien.
Yeah, like, really, it was just goggles that he had on it. That was about it.
Safety goggles.
Yeah.
Dude, I thought it was so wild though when he's fucking hunting her down and she makes him fucking lop off his own arm.
Dude, that shit is man, she is fucking a baddie in this movie.
She's so fucking quick.
She's so fast. like, go ahead.
And like early on when she's playing around with the little rope thing, you're like, oh, okay, she's pretty good with that. And then she becomes fucking OP with this.
She's just fucking throwing it and pulling it back all crazy and
catching it, bam.
Or even when she beats the shit out of like the second in command of the hunting party, she straight whoops that dude's ass.
Dude, she wasn't pulling her punches at all.
And the only time he even hits her is when old boy throws her back into the ring and he sucker punches her. Man.
Dude, he rocks her though.
Yeah, but she eats that shit. She's like,
I thought it was a cool scene though, because I wasn't ready for it.
No, and it just goes to show you that she's the shit. And her brother had some stolen fucking valor if I've ever seen it. He didn't deserve that kill at all. And then that's why she comes in with the fucking mandibles all fucking spread out and throws the head. Oof.
Well, she's like the perfect warrior because like she has the medical side of it, plus she has like, you know, she actually is just as capable of hunting and tracking and everything like that.
Yeah.
And like, so with her being a gatherer and like a medical type person, like I feel like she takes in everything more. Where they're just looking at like, oh, how can I kill this thing?
She's Batman. She's the
Comanche Batman.
So she knows everything, and she's better than Batman because she doesn't need no fucking Alfred fucking bogging her down.
That's true.
She's fucking out here hunting and gathering and fucking doing everything you need to do. So
I have no idea how that dog survived this movie though, dude.
That
dog was gonna die at least 7 times.
It is straight plot armor because he deserved to die at one point. Like he being wild, he fucking fighting the bear, fighting the predator. He fucking fighting some Frenchmen, doing everything.
Did he bite the predator? I can't remember.
Yeah, bro, he jumped up and bit his ass, and that's when
the brother saves him, right?
Yeah.
Dude was kind of a beast too, though. Like when he was coming on that horse, though, like it was pretty dope. Like I liked a lot of that.
He was like, "Put me on one of those fucking horses. It's done. I'm in this shit."
Like I don't think like he would have like any man he would have messed up. Like, and I think he could have even got the like. And the Predator's always a little bitch in every movie for using that cloaking device because as soon as he gets whipped up, he's like, well, shit, you can't see me.
I gotta hide.
Yeah.
They gave me boo-boo. They hurt my pee-pees.
I do like how they're using the medicine, and it's like a foreshadowing that you don't really realize, though. Maybe you guys did. I didn't.
No, I didn't realize until right up until she realized it. Because
same.
Like when he ate it and he went cold, I went,
yeah,
this is the mud, bro. It's the mud.
Yeah. So they get you though by doing the mud scene. They throw you off because I'm like, bro, she's gonna go in the mud. Like obviously, duh.
Like, that's how she gets into the mud, right? Because she's getting chased and then like she falls into the hole. Or is it before?
No, she's literally hunting. She's searching for the predator at this point, and she just walks into the mud. There's nothing that forces her.
Okay.
She just
and
goes.
Then I thought,
blah, da, 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 slip.
Yeah. And I thought they were gonna show the predator like taking a bath or some shit, and like she's like in the mud, can't see, like the predator can't see her.
But I think that's even cool though, right? Because in that scene, you think that she's gonna figure out that the mud is the most important thing, and instead you see her figure out a different way to use her tool. And it's like, nah, this isn't just another fucking retread of the first movie. This shit is gonna hit different.
And then two, they're like, she's gonna win by trapping him in the mud.
Yeah.
Like they keep going back to it, and you're like, oh, okay. And then it's just honestly to throw you off.
Yeah.
You don't think she's ever gonna figure out the laser beam thing?
No, I didn't think about it either.
I didn't either. Even as it was happening, I didn't know what the trap was.
Yeah. I thought she was luring him using the helmet. And then when she kills him with it, I was like, she is so much fucking smarter than me. She is.
I got that.
Okay,
there's no way
Mr. Engineer over here.
That she was boomeranging around trees.
Yeah. She just assumed it would boomerang before it fucking stabbed her in the face.
Yeah, that was kind of risky of her to like assume that like it was gonna before it even hit her. It was gonna do
level
that.
100.
Yeah, there's no kind of. She 100% put it all on black.
I would have moved those trees a little further so that she was a little further away from the predator.
So before we move into our favorites and shit, I want to know, how do you guys feel about how they incorporated certain lines from the original Predator into this?
The only one I can think of is if it bleeds, we can kill it.
So that's one of them. When she's trapped, or right before she kills him, she goes, "Come on, do it. Come on, I'm here."
Oh, I didn't catch it.
And then she blows his fucking brains out.
It's the lack of accent.
It is the lack of accent.
Yeah.
There's one other thing that's said that's a direct response or direct callback to the first movie. Mm-hmm. And then I took it as kind of a callback to the first movie when they sliced the brother's chest open. Because that's what the Native American guy does in the first Predator movie when he's about to fight the OG Predator. He like cuts his chest open and then he goes, "Ah!" And then the guy comes and fucking murders him anyways. But I took that as like a little callback to that character in the first movie that I hope is directly related to these Comanche warriors, because that would be fucking awesome.
And if you want to know what we think about the Predator, we have a video.
Click that
That's
button
true.
up there to go to that video.
Top right.
Oh man, but like watching this movie, I was like, man, this and that first Predator, nothing holds a candle to these fucking movies. I don't think.
I mean, this and I don't know how you guys feel.
We're gonna talk about it,
but this is without even giving it a rating. I don't even remember my rating for the Predator. Is this is the best Predator movie?
I think that's a bold statement. I think it's so bold.
As a movie, this movie is so much better. I know there's nostalgia, and the other one is so witty and cool. But this one is, as a movie, I think is just a more flawless movie.
And I'm interested to hear what Eric has to say. I think the first movie suffers from being an 80s movie. That's
Correct.
what the problem is. Yeah. Go ahead, Eric.
I love the Predators and I love the Aliens. Like, they're two of my favorite franchises. And then, like, when they teamed up and did like Alien vs Predator, I about jizz when I was a little kid, man. I ain't gonna lie.
For jizz.
Mommy, like, I need no shorts, please. I need them.
Mommy,
like, I love this shit. Like, I'm a huge fan of the Predators. Like, but I guess I'm a fake fan. I didn't even read the comics, so you know.
I mean, the lore is so cool, though. Like,
fuck
you know,
the comics.
like and that's my biggest issue. So I feel the same way about Predator, Alien, and Terminator. I love the worlds that they set up, and I feel they always lack execution. And this one of the few times where I was like, "Oh my god, they executed it! They did a movie, and they didn't. Yeah, they fucking killed it. Literally,
they took the lasers to this movie and shot it directly in the back of the fucking head.
They couldn't miss.
No, they could not. So, Eric, you still didn't say kind of where this sits for you. You just said you loved Alien vs Predators.
I love the franchise.
It's been a while, dude. Since I think this is better than the first one for me, just because like I don't know, Arnold, man, he just
Arnie. Don't get me wrong. That's the neutralizer right there, Arnie.
Yeah,
like without Arnie, I don't think it's.
I think the whole cast, though, really contributes to that first movie.
I mean, Carl Weathers strong. There's no better meme than the fucking handshake, you know?
But, like, I think that ensemble cast is arguably better than this ensemble cast.
Because you got, like, Bill Duke, which is the dude with the M60, I think. Mac.
Yeah.
But some of that writing, though, is not great.
Well, yeah, it's a product of its time for sure.
Yeah, it has its issues where, like,
the F slur in the first 10 seconds of the movie.
I mean, there's a lot of it, you know.
Yeah.
Like, if I could look like, and that's me just being like, okay, I'm going to like not knock it for things. I'm choosing to not. If I choose to not knock it for like its time, then it's a lot closer.
Yeah,
but I also really like Predator 2, man. Like I like Predator 2. But it's only because of Danny Glover.
Danny Glover is great, yeah.
But it's a bad movie, though. It's a bad movie. It's so bad.
I don't even. What is it?
I think I've seen Predators once. I can't remember how I feel about it.
But
you'd have to rewatch
I don't know.
it.
My favorite one, though, even though I don't think it's the best one, still might be. Is it Predators?
But that's what we're talking about. Like, what do you personally think is the best movie of the series?
Like, if I had to be like, okay, I only watch one movie like one time.
There's only 5 of them.
Yeah.
But if it's like I can only watch one movie for like just once, it's Prey. If I have to watch a movie over and over, it's that Predators movies because I like how they have all the different characters and I can kind of do my own head lore on it.
Yeah.
Because there's so much to go off with.
Yeah, I think Prey would be number 1, I think, for me right now, looking at this list.
I still think Predator 1 is my favorite. There's just something about that campy 80s shit that gets me bricked up. Mm-hmm. Anytime, dude, the way they kill all those fucking generic Latin American people gets me hot. They're fucking whipping knives, sticking motherfuckers to walls. Like, there's so many aspects.
Stick around.
Yeah, stick around. Boom. But like, while I was watching this movie, though, I was like, damn, this movie is a good movie. Like, you know, I'd be shocked to hear anybody say it's not a good movie. but like you can watch the first Predator movie and be like, I don't know if that's a great movie. I don't know if that's good. You know, like
correct.
Like objectively speaking, Prey is the best Predator movie they've ever put to film. But subjectively, I love the first Predator. I think that first Predator does things that you see them doing in this movie. You know, like there's a reason that there are callbacks to everything that happened in the first movie and makes this movie still good. Because you can do callbacks and ruin the fucking movie.
Well, I think the first one almost messes up the rest of the franchise because they're trying so hard to capitalize on that shit. And it's just like, no. Like that was a one-off thing. It needed to be what it was. Like do your own thing. And I guess they try to do it too. It's just not as good.
I mean, it's lightning in a bottle, that first Predator movie.
Yeah. And it honestly, what is that? What is that? 87? Look how long it took them to come out with another good stellar.
One. Yeah. Yeah.
Is this the highest rated Predators movie?
There has to be.
Rotten Tomatoes, yes. Fan, no. Fan is the first Predator. It has 87 versus 82.
Ooh, that is so fucking close. But there's also not a ton of ratings for this one yet.
Yeah, this one has 1,000, and that one has 250,000 plus.
Yeah, that sounds right. But this also came out. You know, we're doing this review 2 days after the movie came out. So,
but this one also, like the original one, only has 55 reviews for its Rotten Tomato, like its critic, compared to this one having 171.
And what's the critic review for the original Predator?
80, with 55.
What's their critical consensus?
Predators, part sci-fi, part horror, part action, all muscle.
Damn, that's rad. Holy shit.
Though, yeah.
I want to see that
movie is.
I want to see that movie so bad. Oh shit. Yeah. So good. All right.
That needs to be on the poster.
It really did. Last closing remarks from anybody before we get into the questions.
I mean, Indigenous Americans in film.
Dude, we're getting them. Wakanda Forever is gonna have him. Fucking Reservoir Dogs has him. Yeah.
Reservoir Dogs is so good.
It is. All right, cool. So, James, what was your favorite part of Prey?
I mean, it's the end, like the last 30 minutes of it, where she's like, honestly, like, so when her and her brother fight the Predator, I really love. But then, obviously, in the end, where you're like, okay, we're getting the showdown. How are they going to do this? And she just goes off, and you see her use all the skill sets she's kind of learning throughout the movie, and all the knowledge she learned throughout the movie. She puts it together, and then she just whoops his ass.
Straight fucks his shit up.
Yeah, he didn't stand a goddamn chance.
No way.
I don't want to know. I don't want to see Prey 2 because I know they call it a fucking big boss though, and he fucked her world up.
Yeah. 2 steps up, and he would have gone down there and really fucking put some hands on her. Eric, what was your favorite part of Prey?
I think my favorite part was just like the character development that she had, like James said, her learning everything, like her realizing stuff, and then like she's like improving herself as a hunter.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the best part, man. And then her just fucking him up.
Yeah.
And then she goes to the village. She's like, "Here's this fucking head. Make me the chief now, bitch."
We need to move.
so real quick, that's probably the dumbest thing she did, though. I was like, the fact that, like, okay, good thing his blood wasn't, like, acidic. Also, too, you don't know what kind of space AIDS he got, so don't be putting that shit on your face like that.
Look, but, like, she also shouldn't be doing that with normal blood, like blood from any other animal. So she was like, I do this with a bison. Why the fuck would I do this with this creature?
What's the difference?
Scoop and then rub it all over her face. I think my favorite part is anytime she gets to be a badass. And not just the fighting badass. Like, anytime she gets to fucking do some cool medicine shit. Anytime she tracks and she's smelling random things off the ground. Like, anytime...
Makes her weapon better.
Yeah. Like, even her sharpening her axe is fucking sick to me. Because she's getting shit on. Like, the elder is just straight dookie down her throat. And she's like, well, better make sure my axe is sharp. Check it.
I love how when they come back to where they're like, oh, it doesn't matter, you know, how sharp it is if you can't take the shot, and then like she doesn't want to take the shot or whatever.
Yeah.
But also too, I like when they're like, hey, you got to use your medicine, you're so good at it, medicine. It's like, okay, they'll acknowledge her medicine because she's a woman, right. But her warrior skills, no.
And I think that this is a really good, like, I think this is one of the best feminism movies I've ever fucking seen. I think it does it so well, and I think even the most hard pressed, like, just like the dudes in the movie, right? The most hard pressed, like, women ain't shit type of guys could watch this movie and be like, damn, she's badass as fuck, dude. And like, you're subtly.
I don't know, man. Tell it to that guy that was in the trailer.
Nope.
She's like, oh, I don't want none of this.
I don't want none of this.
Well, like, yeah, she's top tier, like, and I wouldn't even call her like, it's not a final girl thing. It's more like Ripley,
Yeah. I mean,
it's where it's like
it's top tier protagonist of all time.
Yeah,
and she earns it. It's not like some movies like the most recent Star Wars saga where a lot of people felt that Rey didn't earn her powers and stuff. Like, we see this woman do shit, like we see her learn and do all those things. So at no point are you like, that's not very realistic.
You know what Rocky said, man? It's not about how you get knocked down or some shit. It's about how you get back up.
It's not about how hard you can hit. It's about how quickly you can, or how much you can get back up. Fuck, now you got me second guessing it.
Yeah,
I can't remember. Either. Good line, though. But I mean, she got knocked down twice and 5 times, and she came back
and kept eating it, dude.
And I love to like how the shots, like you would see the predator bending himself up, and like literally the next shot is her bending herself up, like literally the exact same like leg too.
I love too though how he was using like the the laser shit, he's like burning his wound or whatever, and she's using her little medicine shit, patching it up. Like I love like just how different they were, like about how they were going about the whole situation.
It ain't about how hard you hit. Adrian, it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done.
That's pretty good, dude.
That was pretty good.
I had to get into character. I went full fucking weird lit.
Yeah, that was solid.
All right, least favorite parts. James, what did you not like about Prey 2022?
So I guess the supporting characters outside of the brother, like I actually like the way they were kind of doing the Frenchmen, and then they were there just to get killed, but like the rest of the the indigenous people, the native people, they had nothing to really do other than be background characters.
Yeah.
I did like the 2 guys that I guess there's like 2 or 3 guys that do fight back with them. I like those guys, even though they were just there to be like action sequences. But outside of like 4 or 5 characters, like the other 30 people that are like just they're background characters, so I get it. But it's just like, okay. I would like to see more, I guess. But it's also the movie's like a fucking hour and a half practically.
Yeah, it would have to be a longer movie, and then maybe they don't focus much on Naru, and then like you end up hating it.
Yeah. Correct.
Eric.
There was no end credit scene, dude. Where's the end credit scene where like Predator comes out of nowhere?
Bastard. You fucking stole my shit.
I like was going by too, looking.
Dude, I scrubbed it.
I was like, is there gonna be one?
Yeah. I needed it so bad. I needed for like, I needed it for it to be like you zoom in because they have his head on a pike or whatever to show you that like this is the kill. And you zoom in, and then there's like a boop, 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 boop in his head or something like that. And you don't know if it's a homing beacon or a bomb or what's going to happen.
Oh, dude, that would have been good. Or like all of a sudden just 7 fucking Predators uncloak.
Yeah.
Well, shit, there was a lore like 15. They should have had a fucking whole ship, and you just see them kind of like the fucking Justice League scene. They open the door. I think you would have made it worse, but like in my head, that's where I was going.
I needed that fan service though.
Yeah. So do I. It would have been cheesy as all fuck though if that would have happened, but I would have been in. Oh, dude, I needed a little bit of sequel bait. That was my least favorite part too. I just need to know that somebody is gonna move the franchise forward with awesome movies again.
I mean, this shit's 1719. The next movie takes place in the 80s, like 1980, like 200 years.
Oh man. All right, cinema score questions. Would we rent it? No.
No.
Nah.
Would we buy this movie physically?
I don't think you can.
Probably not, right?
Dude, I will go to Taiwan to buy this movie. I will go to North Russia if that's what I have to do to buy a fucking DVD copy of this movie. I want this movie on my shelf so bad. I want it so bad.
I mean, this thing could have cool ass steelbooks though, for sure.
Yeah. Dog. The way that the green could shine on the steelbook would
That's just better glow in the dark.
And then I didn't notice until we finished the movie and we just had it on Hulu for a second. If you look at the poster, the 3 dots from the bow or whatever are in her eye.
Oh
man, it's so good.
What?
So good, dude. Everything about it is so good. Would we buy this digitally? No. Would you buy this in the $5 bin at your local movie shopping establishment?
You're telling me to get all the Predators for $5?
Yeah, if someone bootlegs it and like just throws it in there.
Could you imagine all 5 Predator movies for $5? I would think I'm stealing. I'd be like,
honestly, I might just steal it just because I'm like, if this is what you're charging, you don't want to be paid.
No, you don't care about this movie like I do. I deserve it. Would you put this on in the background while people are over?
100%.
Fuck yeah. And would you recommend it? Absolutely.
100%.
Bro, even if you don't have Hulu, get the week trial and just watch this 5 times, once a day for the next week.
If you stumble across a site that may or may not have movies, I'm not suggesting that.
No, I said Hulu. I don't know about any pirates that might be at bay.
I mean, if you're overseas and you need to watch this on Disney Plus or Stars,
yeah, you do it. All right, ratings. Does anybody have any good ones?
Nah, I don't got a good one.
Damn, really?
I'm lame as fuck.
I give this 10 rats eating a Frenchman's stub out of 10.
Oh, wow.
She didn't have to do him like that.
Yes, she did. Fuck that guy. He a bitch.
He was a bitch.
Anybody,
James.
I don't care. Anybody.
I give it 9 out of 10. I am just still glad there wasn't no space aids.
I give this a 9 out of 10 orange plants to the dome.
Orange plants.
I'm about to be freezing in this bitch.
Dude, if I could get that shit now, I'd be hot at night. I'll fuck.
What's happening to my body?
It slows down his blood.
It slows him down. It makes it so that his blood doesn't coagulate. I don't know what it does.
I don't know how science works.
Shit, they don't either. They're just putting shit on shit.
Honestly.
Do I want to give this a 10 for real, though? Now that I think about it. What did I give the original Predator?
Oh, yeah, let's see.
Eric gave the original Predator an 8.25. James gave it an 8, and I gave it a 9. So I have to give this movie a 9.5 at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bray.
I think my rating still stands then.
Okay, James, your rating still stands?
Correct.
Okay, and I'm going to give it a 9.5. 9.5 rats eating a Frenchman stub out of 10.
We're only like 90 episodes away from where you're going over that anyway.
Yeah. Oh, James got a text. Okay, so that was Prey. I should just actually end the show.
You think they'll make another one? They're like, oh, people love this shit. We gotta make another one. That's gonna be shit.
No, I don't think so. Dan Trachtenberg did the best Cloverfield movie. So I think if he continues to do the sequels, I think it's going to be pretty stellar no matter what. I'm putting a lot of faith in Dan Trachtenberg.
Continues.
Right, yeah. Now, if he doesn't, I think it's a crapshoot. We'll have to look at the creative team behind it, and we'll just have to see. But this is a Disney 20th century movie, so I think it'll stay in quality for the most part.
Have Disney released like a good one and then like released another movie following a good movie? I can't even think of like what franchises.
I think you could argue some Marvel movies are like that.
Some Star Wars movies, you could argue that.
All of the sequel series is like that, yeah. But then they have good TV series. Maybe we might get a really good Predator TV series out of this. Which might
It's crazy how little this guy has done.
Dan Trachtenberg? Yeah, there's not been a lot. He chooses his movies very specifically, I think.
Well, like he did Playtest, which is like one of my favorite Black Mirror episodes. Mm-hmm. He did an episode of The Boys, some The Lost Symbol. I don't know if that's out yet. It's a pilot. And then Prey and Cloverfield.
Yeah. He hasn't worked a lot, but I think it's because his movies are a little bit out there. And so I don't know if everybody kind of has seen them and experienced his directing style and stuff like
10
that.
Cloverfield Lane is so good, dude. It gives me so much hope for that franchise, and they always shit on me.
And they just destroyed it. Yeah, it's
There
terrible.
hasn't been anything since, right?
No,
they had a
this-
Netflix one.
Oh, did he?
Oh.
No, he didn't do it.
No, I was
I'm
talking
talking about
he didn't.
I'm talking about Cloverfield. Yeah, they had that Netflix one they released after the Super Bowl, and it was ass.
It was dog shit. It was terrible.
It was a cool ass drop though.
Yeah,
but
it was baller as hell.
yeah, they're like, hey, you can watch this movie now, and it's like, what the fuck?
Oh fuck, man, fuck the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
All right, thanks everyone for tuning in on twitch.tv/SoonerLaterTV, youtube.com/whatever fucking string it is, and my personal Facebook for our review of Prey. Continue listening and watching and showing your support on all social media at SoonerLaterTV. If you couldn't catch us live, then don't worry. All of our episodes are uploaded every Wednesday afternoon for your watching and listening pleasure. So tune in next week for our review of Bullet Train. We love you. Bye.
Bye. You know he almost did Uncharted.
Oh,
Dan Trachtenberg?
Mm-hmm.
that would have been really good. I'm going to go.